Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy, for nerds, by nerds, hang out with these nerds.
Nathan Nerdark.
Ted.
Today we bring you another Unearthed Arcana where we're talking Hell Knights and Blackguards.
Jump down to the description below where you can sign up for Nerdarchy, the newsletter. It's a great way to get gaming tips as well as learn how to game with us.
So once again we have Unearthed Arcana. This time we're going right in order. We got Paladin, we got two new archetypes. Paladin, we didn't really need as many because we had 3 base in the player's handbook. We had 1 in the Skag. For you guys that don't know what the Skag is, that's the Sword Coast Adventures Guide, because we say that and feel like, what are you talking about? I don't know if we've gotten any other Unearthed Arcana. I don't
think there's any other Paladins out there, but what we do get in this one are pretty darn sweet.
Yeah, and the DMG too. So technically there is 5 floating around. Now we get 2 more, and we're going to get the Oath of Conquest, affectionately referred to as a Hell Knight, and Oath of Treachery, affectionately referred to as a
Blackguard.
Blackguard, yeah.
Now, going into each of these ones, I thought it was pretty darn sweet. Now, the Hell Knight, or the Oath of Conquest, that's all about martial prowess, and it specifically is like, you can't just simply defeat your enemy. You have to win combats without contest so that you essentially have them terrified of you. I thought it was awesome.
It's like one of the early opening lines in the Conan movies, and it's like, what is best in life? These guys pretty much live that.
Yeah, I was feeling the Conan imagery in my mind with these guys. Now, one thing I'd say, I don't really care for paladins that I feel like are going to be pain in the butts to be in the group with them. And I mean, you've got like...
They're not good player characters.
No. I feel like, half the paladins are like, this is really good BBEG,
Yeah. You're absolutely right. The Oath of Conquest, you can kind of shoehorn in there. The Oath of Treachery, not so much. I mean, it's right in the name. He's going to betray you if it suits him. Evil campaign, you want to use these guys.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I agree with Nate that I think, if you have a hero-esque kind of situation, the Oath of Conquest could be laid in there if there's enough of his tenets to go along with it. The treachery, he's like, no, I'm just going to do whatever's the best for me.
Yeah, I feel like at least with the Hell Knight archetype, that character could have a goal that aligns him with the party.
Right.
So half of these are more or less usable. We have Tenets of Conquest. Douse the flame of hope. It's not enough to merely defeat an enemy in battle. Your victory must be overwhelming, that your enemy's will to fight is shattered forever. A blade can end a life. Fear can end an empire.
Then you have Rule with an Iron Fist. Once you have conquered, tolerate no dissent. Your word is law. Those who obey it shall be favored. Those who defy it shall be punished, as an example to all who might follow.
And then strength above all. You shall rule until a stronger one arises. Then you must grow mightier and meet the challenge or fall to your own ruin.
Going along with the theme of the Oath of Conquest,
which the typical Hell Knight has these burned into their flesh.
Which is kind of cool. And their it specifically says it's basically like an upper arm tattoo / brand.
Right.
Hey guys, check it out! I joined a club and I got a free tattoo.
Yeah, pretty much. That's kind of cool. Then that brings us to our spells: Armor of Agathith, Command, Hold Person, Spiritual Weapon, Bestow Curse, Fear, Blight, Dominate Beast, Dominate Person, Insect Plague. So they're all very thematic. They're all kind of biblical in nature, not in a good way. Pretty much, I really like this Paladin archetype. Later when we get further, there's only one place where I'm like, this is kind of weak. You're not going to get a lot of use out of it. I mean, granted, it's thematic, and you have a couple places, but overall, it's womp.
As with all Paladins, they get 2 different options for their Channel Divinity. They get Conquering Strike and Guided Strike.
And Guided Strike, we don't even have to read because it's literally the same one from the Cleric domain.
Right. So Conquering Strike, you can use your Channel Divinity to break a foe's will. When you hit a creature with a melee weapon attack as part of your attack action, you can also use your Channel Divinity to force the target to make a Wisdom saving throw. On a failed saving throw, the target is frightened of you for a minute. Save ends, they make it at the end of their turn. It's pretty cool. It's in conjunction with other things that you can do. It's a wasted resource. You know,
It's way better than the Spectral Vines that the Oath of the Ancients gets. Now here's where I have a little bit of beef.
the
Aura of Conquest. It's kind of weak. Disadvantage on saving throws to be frightened if you're within 10 feet. It goes up to 30 feet later on. It makes that one ability that you can use once per short rest better. And some of your spells, but you're a paladin.
When you cast Fear.
Yeah, but you're a paladin. Let's face it. What are your spells for? They're for smiting. Everybody knows that.
So it works with your channel divinity, and if nothing else, it's a nice ribbon ability that, you know, when you walk in a room, people are of unease because of your power.
I will say it's far more useful if you're working in conjunction with other characters, or you're using this for your big bad, and he's got other spellcasters or other creatures that have fear effects. Then it becomes more useful. But standalone in a party of adventurers, if you're using this guy, that ability is going to be virtually useless.
What if you said that it also applied to intimidation checks?
If the intimidation check specifically calls out the frightened condition, then it does.
But it usually doesn't.
Still, even if it does, as far as the 7th level abilities, the aura abilities of paladins are generally really good. And this one's not.
Yeah, I would agree with Dave that it's thematic, but it's a little lacking.
There's 15th level, they become immune to being charmed.
Yeah, implacable spirit.
Yeah, just immune to being charmed. It's not awesome for 15th level.
It's a good ability for a fighting class to have.
It's kind of meh after 7th level. You know, like the combination of those two together kind of is weak. Invincible Conqueror, though, badass. This one is amazing.
All right, so first off, it takes an action to become an avatar. So
Yeah,
you
like all
do
the paladins.
you do suck up that action, but
You take on that form for 1 minute, resistance to all damage. When you take an attack action in your turn, you can make one additional attack as part of that action. Now, this is interesting because there's only one other way to increase your crit range in the game, and that's to be a champion. While these guys, part of becoming an avatar is 1920 is their crit range, so they're going to crit more often. Definitely one of the better 20th level abilities. Absolutely. That brings us on to Oath of Treachery.
So this is your Blackguard, as we talked about, and this is
You want to read the tenets of this oath?
yes. So they kind of forgot to put them in there because they don't have them. If you decide that oaths are for chumps and you want to play a paladin, this is your guy. They don't have an oath. They don't care about anything other than themselves, their own power, their own wealth. They do what they want, and that's what they do.
Their oath is sometimes I do bad things, and I'm okay with that.
Basically what they say here is the tenets of treachery are they're not going to adhere to anyway, and that's the whole point. They're like, hey, you want to play a Blackguard but don't want to use the DMG version? This is the one to use. And I actually like this one better.
I do as well.
The one in the DMG actually does work a lot better as just a villain type because you're going to have the right kind of support for them. But this one can kind of operate on his own without it. So their spells are Charm Person, Expeditious Retreat, Invisibility, Mirror Image, Gaseous Form, Haste, Confusion, Greater Invisibility, Dominate Person, Passable. Essentially, their spells are really about getting out of dodge. It's literally so they can run away. Valor, discretion before valor. Absolutely.
So with your Channel Divinity, again, you have the two different options. And again, we're getting a repeat from the cleric abilities from Domain of Treachery, or Trickery, which is the Conjure Duplicate. But then they also have the ability to do a Poison Strike. As a bonus action, they can touch one weapon or a piece of ammunition, and the poison lasts for a minute. It does 2d10 plus your Paladin level, or if you have advantage on the attack, don't roll, it's just 20 plus your level.
It's max damage.
And actually, that's really important later on, which I completely forgot about. I will say that someone had mentioned, I had seen mention that they feel the problem with these two paladin oaths is that they step on the toes of the two different clerics. But in essence, they do, and it's a little bit worse than that too, because these abilities are way better suited to the paladins than they are to the clerics.
Well, it's because they're given it to a cleric.
if they're in melee, if they're not the most effective melee combatants. They're not a martial class, like you said. They're not a striker, for if you're using rolls like the rogue to really take advantage of it. Now, the duplicate being able to cast spells through it is kind of useful, and it's not bad, but gaining advantage in melee combat for
A cleric isn't.
especially a trickery cleric.
Yeah.
Isn't is good. The war cleric for you can be a badass for like one round. Not bad, but still, you're not a fighter.
But on the idea of stepping on the toes of other characters, I feel like the trickery cleric and this particular paladin are going to be played so differently. It doesn't matter. I mean, everybody can swing a weapon, so technically, is that stepping on toes? You know what I mean? Like, when are we going to separate the idea of this rule's thematic and works with this character class, and they're going to do their own thing, and then a cleric of trickery is going to do their own thing, and it's going to be irrelevant that they have similar spells or powers or abilities.
There's going to be crossover sometimes, and I don't have a problem with two classes getting the same kind of abilities.
Me neither. The only thing I would like to point out is, even though they do get the same, the paladins actually wear it better.
Yes.
So I think that is kind of like the bigger issue, really.
Right. So then our aura of treachery at 7th level, you emanate an aura of discord, which gives you the following benefits: call the herd. Yet another. You gain advantage on melee attack rolls against any creature that has one or more of its allies within 5 feet of it. That's nice if you're going into mass combat, as well as treacherous strike.
And let's remember, right? Advantage again. When did we find out that advantage is really useful to this guy? Oh, if you just poisoned his blade.
Right. And then treacherous strike. If a creature within 5 feet of you misses with a melee attack, you can use your reaction to force the attacker to re-roll that attack roll against a creature of your choice that is also within 5 feet of the attacker. This ability fails and is wasted if the attacker is immune to being charmed. And you can do this 3 times.
Am I reading that right, where they're both in effect at the same time, essentially?
I would say so.
It's part of his aura, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. And this paladin was it like the worst Highlander movie that had the illusion warrior, where the villain, the foe, was a Highlander guy, but he actually used like illusion magic in combat as well as
that was
fighting.
Highlander.
Yeah, it was the really bad movie though. But there was a couple past the first one. But anyway, I've always wanted to create like an illusion warrior. And I feel like this paladin actually does kind of a good job of filling that role.
Well, because you get the duplicate, you've got the ability to, push attacks aside.
Yeah, well, I don't see him as pushing this attacks aside as so much as him using like illusion or charm in the midst of combat. Like Jedi, your Jedi mind trick him into, instead of attacking you, attacking their buddy. So, I mean, it's not worded that way. That's just...
Yeah, well, I was thinking they're kind of the fighter that uses deceit and trickery.
Yeah, almost like sleight of hand and stuff like that.
Oh, you're going to attack me. Well, I know you're going to attack right here, so I'm just going to move out of the way, and you just happen to stab your friend. Like,
I see. You could play it that way, or you can go more with it's all magic. Like he's just using magic.
Yeah, it is a charm. Yeah, it says it doesn't work if they're immune to charm, so it does make it seem like
it's a magical effect.
They're confusing or kind of taking a control.
Yeah, the ability to create an illusion like duplicate of yourself, using your reaction if they miss you to make them hit somebody else, and like could totally be like thematically, I could see that being described as you see two of the enemy, and you attack one of them. Oh, well, the one you attack was actually your buddy. So I don't know. Thematically, I kind of see like this illusion, dark illusion
switching
warrior.
Places.
Yes, way better than the Champion of Conquests.
Aura.
Yeah, this one's pretty cool and thematic.
Well, I mean, essentially, if you're fighting 2 people, you've always got advantage. If they miss 3 times a day, you can have them smack the other person.
Black Art Escape, 15th level. 15th level, you have the ability to slip away from your foes immediately after you are hit by an attack. You can use your reaction to turn invisible and teleport up to 60 feet to a spot you can see. You remain invisible until the end of your next turn, or until you attack and deal damage, or force a creature to make a saving throw. Once you use this feature, you must finish a short or long rest before you use it again. Way better than immunity to charm. This is definitely... I think the Paladin of Treachery is the clear winner here.
Oh, out of the 2, absolutely, yes.
I'll absolutely agree with you. And then we move on to the next avatar ability, Icon of Deceit. Works just like all the other avatars. You are invisible. No, until you attack or until his other conditions come up. Nope. For a minute, you're invisible. And all the greatness that goes along with it.
Like having advantage on attacks.
Like having advantage on attacks, which prompts that other ability. If you have advantage on the attack roll, you gain a bonus to its damage roll equal to your paladin level. Technically, you're invisible, therefore that gives you advantage unless the person has the ability to see invisible. If a creature damages you on its turn, it must succeed on a wisdom saving throw DC equal to your spell save, or you control its next action, provided that you aren't incapacitated when it takes the action. A creature automatically succeeds if it's immune to being charmed. Alright, somehow it magically found the way to hit you. You're like, nope, you're mine.
Well, they still hit you, right?
They still hit you.
But
they come with a
pay
price.
for it. Yeah, you get to control their next thing.
And that's like a step up from their treacherous strike ability, where basically now they're not even there, so you could see him. You could see the blackguard everywhere in a sense, and it's all your buddies or something, right?
Yeah, that's what totally like pretty much charm effects. But that's why I totally feel like this guy is using, he's messing with the minds of his opponents as he fights them. And that's what makes this guy terrifying. Now, if you're immune to charm, not such a big deal. These guys are kind of a pushover. But they get all these cool abilities, ways to use their reactions, ways to do way more damage, especially if they have advantage. At 20th level, this guy's a nightmare.
We kind of, when we were talking off camera, we kind of mix some stuff up. But, going with the treachery guy, he can haste himself, then become the Icon of Deceit. He's got 3 attacks around with advantage. He uses his bonus action to poison the blade. That one attack is going to hit for 60 damage before any of the base attack. You're gonna have the poisoned blade, which would normally do 2d10 plus your paladin level, but because you have advantage, it's just going to do the 20 plus paladin level. So since you're 20th level, that's 40. But then because you're the Icon of Deceit, you've got advantage on the attack roll, you add a bonus to the damage equal your paladin level, which is yet another 20. Nowhere does it say that this doesn't stack with something else.
And then, of course, you're fighting with a greatsword, and of course, you're going to have the great weapon. Is it Great Weapon Master? The feat?
Yeah.
Where you add another 10.
Where you can take a -5 to add another 10, so it could be like 70 before.
70 before modifiers.
And like this is the round if you're going to smite, you smite. And you're a paladin, and you're hasted, and you're getting 3 attacks. Oh my god. You could easily do, that's well over 300 points of damage.
Well, no, I mean, the poison blade is only going to be valid for 1 attack, but that's still only 40. But it's still 40 additional damage. You've got the ability to just go in there and wade through. So
is it safe to say in one round he can do like 1 million points of damage?
1 million? No.
Definitely safe.
But I'm thinking a well prepared character is going to easily mow through those low 200s or under hit points.
Yeah, so he's going to just do the invisible thing, run right up to the mage and cut his head off. This is what's going to happen.
I'm thinking more like the dragons.
Nah, I'm thinking about killing parties with this.
Oh.
I gotta agree with Nate. This guy's definitely designed to mow down your party. And he's a coward, which makes it even worse. So he literally only does that after he softened you up. There's no way he doesn't even know what a fair fight is. It's not even in his vocabulary.
Well, I mean, given the spell selection and this and that, there's nothing to say that his spells are designed to run away. So he could literally have his stuff prepared in advance, come in, mow your party or mow 1 or 2 people down and get away. He's probably a 20th level paladin, so he's strong, so he'll just grab the body so that they can't resurrect him.
Pass wall out. And be like, zoop, out of there.
Yeah, if you're looking to totally just annihilate a high level party, there's your guy.
What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. Is this overpowered? Has Wizards of the Coast finally lost their minds and gone too far? Let us know in the comments below. While you're at it, like, share, and subscribe.
Be sure to check out our articles over at nerdarchy.com.
While there, don't forget to check out all the awesome stuff in our store.
Till next time.
Stay nerdy.